All right, so this is lesson 2, numeric data visualizations. So the histogram, box plot, and dots plot are all different things for the class sleep hours. So one thing, how many hours of sleep does a kid in your class typically get? Now I'm looking at this to see the typical number. I like the box plot right in the middle there. That's the median. It's about 7 hours. Here I can read this one. I would say somewhere in here between 6 and 8 hours is what a typical kid might get. That's the mode. Um, or on here I can see most of the data is between 6 and 8. I try to find the average or the balancing point. It seems to be about maybe right here. So now use the dot plot to find the mean, median, and mode. So what you do is just add the numbers up. So 2 plus 4 plus 4 plus 5 plus 5.5 plus 6 plus 6 plus 7 plus 7 plus 11, and so on to find the mean, the median. And there are two modes. So 7 is a mode and 8 is a mode. And then to compare and contrast dot plots, histograms, and box plots. So dot plots will show you the actual numbers in the data, so that's useful. It also shows you the mode pretty easily. Histograms kind of show you the shape of the data. If you notice, this has a tail to the left a little bit. This would show a skewed shape to the left. Here, this box plot kind of shows you the median pretty easily and the minimum and the maximum. You can see a little bit of shape here as well. This shows some skewing because this kind of like tail or part of the whisker of the box plot is a little bit longer. So now what we're going to do is make a histogram. So what you can do is going from 2 up to and counting 4, you'd count to how many there were, and then you'd keep doing that. So this would go from 2 and then up to counting 4, so then not counting 4 up to counting 6, and you would just count that. Like this would have 1, 2, 3 here because I would count 4. Here this would count like 4.5 to 6, including 6, and then you just put the count and then graph it. So now what you would do here to make a box plot, you put the numbers in ascending order. So then you'd find the minimum and the maximum. The median is the middle number, or the how many n is the number of numbers. So you'd find how many numbers are there. The median would be the n plus 1, and then divide that by 2, number in the data set. And then you would keep going here once you find the median. To find the first quartile, the number in the data set would be the n plus 1 divided by 2 entry. And then if you have like 1.25, for example, that would mean you'd start with the first entry and then go 0.25 times the difference between the first and the second entry. And then you can always check that with R. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to do some things here. So I downloaded this R code, so that's ready to go here. And then what I'm going to do is download this data file. So I downloaded it, and it pops up as a Google Doc. And then what you need to do in order to read this is click File, and we're going to download this as a Microsoft Excel file because R cannot read the other types of files. So now what I do is I open my R thing, and I'm going to move this for a second, but I'm going to import my data set, and I'm going to import the Excel file. I click Browse, and then I just go up here, and I go to my downloads, and here's this L2 data, so I'm going to click on that, click Open, and then click Import. So now this L2 data we have in here. So this would be if you can download it from a file location as well. So now what we're going to do is find the mean of L2 data for the class hours. You can find the median of that by going media of L2 data and then money sign and then class hours. Now we did the mode, which we had to do a mode function to create that. And then the mode is 7. Now to do a histogram, you go hist of L2 data, class sleep hours. The main title I'm going to give is class sleep hours, and then the X label is going to be hours, and I'm going to put the color in blue. So here we go. So there's our histogram that you see. And then what I can do now to find the summary statistics to sort those, here's the sorting of my numbers. So then if you look, I have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 numbers. So if I wanted to find the median, I go 16 plus 1, which is 17, and then divided by 2. It's going to be the 8.5 number in the data set. So here I count over 8 numbers: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm at 7. And then what I would do is go, well, 7 plus, and it's the 0.5 number. So it's 0.5 times the difference between this 7 and this 7. So 0.5 times 7 minus 7, well, that's 0. So the median is going to be 7. And then similarly, I go 17 divided by, or times 1 over 4. So it's going to be the 4.25 data number in the data set. So here I go 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be 5, and then 0.25 times the difference between 5 and 5.5. So it would be 5 plus 0.25 times 5.5 minus 5 is 0.5. So I got 5.125, and then so on. So if I wanted to find the summary statistics, here we go. We have 2. The first quartile is 5.375. The median is 7, and then the mean is there. There's a third quartile, and then there's a max. There's a little bit of a difference too in how they calculate it. I did 0.25 times the difference between those, and then that would just be calculated a little bit differently with the function that R is using. So here, that was just making, we're going to look at making histograms, and then making a box plot, and then making a dot plot. So we're going to go through those real quick. So to make a histogram, you go HIST of, we go L2 data. So here, make a histogram of L2 data. And then if you notice, I missed something. I need to go hashtag and go class sleep hours. And then that would be why that happened there. And then to make a box plot, it's L2 data, hashtag class sleep hours. Notch is true if I want it notched. And then Y equals hours. And then you can also change this, like let's say I wanted it to be horizontal, you can put comma horizontal equals, and then just put true. And then all of a sudden, boom, it goes horizontally. And then for the dot plot, you need the ggplot2 library. So you go library of ggplot2, change the data as a data frame. And then here, ggplot2 of L2 data. And then we're going X equals class sleep hours. And then you go gm dot plot, fill as blue. And then there you go here, just makes a dot plot. So now what you're going to do is do some practice problems where you make a dot plot, make a histogram, make a box plot by hand, and then do those things with RStudio. And then also fill in a check for understanding with that.